Hey everyone, and welcome. Back in 2017 when The Last Jedi came out, I decided to make myself a skirt using some super cute novelty print that I found at Joann Fabrics. As you can see, it's got C-3PO and R2-D2 as sugar skulls, along with a whole bunch of cat fur. It's a super simple style, just 3 full panels of the cotton gathered onto a waistband. So I always intended to make more, but I never got around to getting more fabric. Fast forward to this past February, and I was poking around online, specifically on Joann Fabrics' website, to see what kind of cute fabric they might have. And that's when I found this fabric and decided I was going to make another skirt the same style. It is specifically styled after the type of skirts you would have seen in the 1950s that also used novelty prints. So I do consider it a vintage style skirt, and it's also big enough that I can wear it over a crinoline, which makes it nice and fluffy and fun to wear. This one I decided I was going to do a ruffle on the hem rather than just have it plain. So what I've done is 3 panels. Here you can see my fabric. Isn't it adorable? It even says Pew Pew. That's what really sold it for me. So anyway, the skirt itself is 3 panels and the ruffle is 6 panels, so that means I've got a bunch of gathering to do. What I did was assemble all of the ruffle pieces together and all of the skirt pieces together, and then as you can see I am hemming the ruffle here. It's way easier to hem it before I gather it, trust me. Then running some gathering stitches, lots and lots of gathering stitches. And then I'm going to insert my zipper into the body of the skirt before I go any further. I've trimmed down most of my seam allowances except where the zipper is going to go. It is a short one, only 7 inches I believe. And I left those seam allowances wide there to make sure that I don't have any fray out once I sew my zipper. I am doing the most basic zipper insertion. That is, I'm just lining it up with the seam allowance, or with the seam line I should say, that I sewed earlier with a long basting stitch where the zipper goes, so that I could press it open and have the edges, the folded edges together while I sewed my zipper in, but that it would be easily accessible once I sew the zipper in and pull those stitches. Basically all I have to do is just line the teeth of the zipper up with the actual seam line, and then I'm going to sew around it, top stitch it right on in. Before I actually do the sewing though, I am going to clip the very bottom of the basting stitches I put in, so that once the zipper itself is sewn in, I can very easily pull those stitches out and open that seam back up, and not have to use a seam ripper and therefore get lots of little pieces of thread stuck in that fold there. Time to dig out my zipper foot. I've got a lot of feet for my machine. Having stitched fully around the zipper, as I said before, all I have to do is pull out that basting thread. Pull, pull, pull. And then it opens up perfectly easily. And I have an inserted zipper. Next thing I need to do is run my gathering stitches along the top edge of my skirt, and then I'm going to get my waistband ready. This is just a little more than a full width because, you know, my waist is a little bit bigger than 45 inches. And all I did was sew a piece of Petersham or grosgrain ribbon. I basted that into what is the inside of the waistband just to have a stabilizer inside. Rather than using like an iron-on or sew-in interfacing, I just use this ribbon. It does the exact same thing. Once the skirt is gathered and sewn into the waistband, I'm going to do the same with the ruffle, and then I am done machine sewing. The only thing left is to finish the very edges of the waistband and put a hook and eye on so I can close the skirt. And then it'll be all done. Normally I would use one of the silver skirt hooks and eyes for this because it is a light colored skirt, but unfortunately all I could find was the black one. It's not that big of a deal because it is fully hidden by all the layers that are in the waistband. But yeah, normally I would use a silver one, not a black one, on a white skirt like this. And that's the entire skirt. The longest part was adding the ruffle simply because of how much fabric it was and how much time the gathering took, but otherwise this was a very short and simple project to make. Definitely something you can do in just an afternoon. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, like it of course, and feel free to check out my Ko-fi. I will be adding some perks in the coming weeks, so go ahead and check that out too. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.